urban style individual.
What's up with y'all? Hopefully this video finds you in good spirits, and if not, well, at least you not DSP. And that statement couldn't be any more true, because every time I see one of these trucking simulator streams, I swear it's another therapy session. But it's a good thing, because we often get a lot of gems from these, because we know Phil has a hard time keeping his mouth shut. So he was asked a question, and that is really where this whole meltdown stems from. Now remember, this guy did not make a definitive statement. He asked Phil a question. So let's see how he responds.
Chill as a cherry says, do you think you're going to regret spending most of your life inside of a house, spending no time, meaningful time with friends, and doing anything? Listen, first of all, I had a very eventful life before I became a full-time YouTuber and moved out here. Before 2014, most of my life was IRL shit. I traveled playing Street Fighter for like 15 years of my life. It was constant in-person interaction with people, going to arcades, going to their houses, going to fucking tournaments. That was my life.
Sure. And nobody's going to dispute that, because people know of your fighting game history. But the key component to that is, why isn't there any carryover from all those so-called relationships that you formed back in the day? You don't have a single person in your phone that you can link up with, that you can say, hey, I'm a little down on my luck. I need to crash on the couch for a couple of days, for a couple of weeks, for a couple months. Nobody that you link up with for the holidays so y'all can get together and reminisce about the old days. That's what he's getting at, Phil. He's not talking about what you used to do. He's talking about what you're doing now.
Flying everywhere, I was traveling everywhere. In my youth, that's literally the polar opposite of what I do now, all right? So you're acting like since the day I was born, I was sitting in front of a TV streaming games. That's not true. I didn't start doing that actually full-time until 2017.
He didn't say that at all. He asked you definitively, do you think this is going to have adverse effects? Do you think you're going to miss any of this? Are you going to regret any of this? That was his question. He didn't say anything about you being perpetually on the internet since you were a child. But I do think this is your inner DSP coming out and you telling on yourself. So maybe you were.
My life was very different, okay? Now, you're talking about now. Now I am married. I have a full-time job as a streamer, and I'm married. My wife is my best friend. If anything, if I have more free time, you know who I want to spend more time with? My wife. Not anyone else. I don't want to have other friends. I just want to spend more time with my wife, who I don't spend enough time with as it is. So you'll understand this one day when you find the right person and you have that person who you want to spend as much time with as possible, and you can't because you're busy all the time, then you'll get it.
Now, obviously, what he's saying here absolutely makes no sense whatsoever. He's trying to act as if you're in a relationship and or married, that somehow nullifies having friends, because yes, the marriage is going to supersede those relationships, but it does not mean that those other relationships cannot exist. All this really tells me is Phil has a hard time understanding and establishing boundaries, because most people I know who are in healthy marriages also have friends. So I'm not sure what he's talking about here. Talking about his life is very different. Yes, it is very different, because you're trying to make it seem as if your wife has you locked up somewhere. Like you can't do anything outside of the stream when you're not streaming, but be up underneath her. That sounds crazy. Like y'all have a high level of codependency going on up in there.
But the thing is, you're a single schlub right now who's trying to criticize me on my stream, and you don't understand it because you're younger than me. One day you'll get to that age, hopefully, you'll find the right person, and then you'll be happy just like me, and you'll get it. But a lot of people who criticize me in my life don't understand that the life is great, that I'm incredibly happy with the way that it is, because I set it up that way. Like, I actually... No, you're not. Oh, you're not married. You're such a fucking liar. Ban that guy right now.
Now, did you see that? And I thought this was very key, because Phil needs these things that he says about detractors and or people asking him questions that he does not like. He needs these things in his mind to be true about you. He actually wants to believe that you are perpetually on the internet and your life is so miserable, and that's the only way that you could potentially be laughing at him because something is wrong with you. Or Phil, we're laughing at you because it's funny. Did you ever think of that? My goodness.
Dude, You are literally sitting on my stream right now telling me basically that my life sucks. Even though I'm the one with the audience, I'm the one making money, getting healthy, happily married, and you're gonna tell me you're married? No, you're wasting your fucking life watching me saying shit like that to me on my stream. You're not married.
Yeah, I'm an adult. Sorry, I'm the one who operated a successful YouTube channel. Me.
No one would marry you. All right, you understand that? No one in their right mind would even talk to you of any kind of a fucking gender. You're the one who sits in your fucking basement all day smelling like fucking stinky ass fucking socks.
Phil, you were able to get a wife and someone to marry you. So if you are able to do it, chances are pretty much everyone else on the planet can do it as well. So that's a terrible argument to make. Furthermore, once again, I have to double down because you can see here, he really wants that to be true. He thinks everybody's sitting around acting like duty or something. A lot of us already got stuff going on, Phil. This is why I don't upload as much as maybe a lot of the other detractors are. And I'm trying to get better at that. But, you know, I got shit going on and this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But he wants to believe that you are a mouth breathing, window licking, knuckle dragging, neurodivergent, that you have to look at him to feel better about every other miserable aspect in your life. And all it really is you feel you're projecting because you don't know what's going on in his life at all. He is pixels on a screen, but he has a pretty good idea of what's going on in your life, right? So the things that you're saying is speculation, but the things that he's saying is rooted in the truth. That's the difference, Phil.
All right? No one else fucking talks to people like you. Anyway, you're a fucking idiot.
You get baited so bad.
Cracker Jack says, you know, I've been married 31 years and I know where you're coming from. Well, there you go. When you find the right person, okay? And especially if you're the kind of person that you're a busy person. I'm busy all the time working, right?
I'm busy all the time working, right?
I wish that I could spend more time with my wife. I can't, right? So now, basically, when you get to a certain level of being busy, right? You wish that you could spend more time with your significant other. She's my best friend. That's who I want to spend time with. I don't want to go out and have 10 other friends who I want to spend a lot of time with. Coworkers, like someone to come on my show and we do work together or something, that's different. But I want to spend time with Kat, you know?
See, and this is part of the reason why your thought process is so binary, because the things that you're thinking and or saying, you're not bouncing off of anybody. And I would venture to guess that a lot of the crazy shit that you say on a daily basis around Kat, she disagrees with it because it's a lot quicker to get you out of her sphere if she disagrees with what you're saying and, you know, kind of just throws her hands up about the situation because she knows how you are. Friends are important because they keep you honest. You can start feeling yourself a little too much. Maybe you get a little big for your britches, or maybe you bite off a little more than you can chew. And a good friend's going to tell you, hey, bro, you tripping, man. What are you doing? Even in relationship situations where you might be wrong, a good friend's going to tell you, you know you wrong, man. That girl love you, bro. You need to chill out, right? That's what a good friend will do. And a lot of you who are falling under the sound of my voice right now, I'm sure you're thinking of a situation right now where your homeboy or your homegirl saved you from some bullshit that you were about to get yourself into because they're a good friend. Something Phil would never know about.
No, someone who doesn't get that. Here's the funny part too. This guy in the stream who's calling me out saying, oh, I don't have any real life interactions or whatever, but you're married, right? So why aren't you with your wife right now? Why are you sitting on my stream criticizing my life? If you're married, why aren't you spending time with your wife? Would you not like her?
How do you know she's not sitting right next to him pointing and laughing at you too, Phil? See, again, everything you're saying right now is gross speculation. You do not know. Now you're going to say it because it's going to make you feel better about your terrible situation. But ultimately, that's you projecting a lot of what you would like their life to be on them so you feel better about what's going on with you. And it just doesn't apply. Do you really think every single person that's pointing and laughing at you is a neurodivergent who doesn't have anything else going on in their life and they're just miserable as hell, so they happened upon you on the internet one day and they watch you religiously to feel better? Come on, Phil. I mean, I had multiple careers before I ever thought about making a YouTube channel, bro. What are you talking about? For a lot of us, this is just leisure, bro. You know why, Phil? Because you a damn joke.
Does she not like you? So when turn it on itself, you can easily analyze the situation and figure out where the real problem is. The problem isn't me, the problem is this idiot whose life sucks and wishes he had my life. So now he's got to try to bring me down in a way that makes him feel better about himself, right? It's just funny to me because when people say stuff like that to me on a stream, or when people criticize me online and they're like, you don't have any friends. Like, wait a minute. Well, I have people I'm friendly with. I'm friendly with my moderators. I'm friendly with certain people on stream.
Notice how the first thing he mentions was stuff on the internet, but everybody else is terminally online, right? And you see how he's trying his hardest, and you're going to see he's going to try his hardest to conflate being friendly with people in passing in business settings is the same as being a friend. This is how you know he is so far divorced from the concept of having an actual friend, because for everything with Phil is transactional, even with his wife. So he's going to sit here and talk about people he's friendly with. That's not the same thing, Phil. And once again, the guy asked you a question. He did not make a definitive statement, but we know you salty because anytime the truth comes out, you have to respond to it. It compels you. Your spirit start jumping around. Your skin start burning. You just can't help yourself.
I'm friendly with other people online as well. I still talk to people from the FGC from back in the day who I'm friendly with. Maybe I'm not friends because I don't have a lot of time to spend, but I am friendly with people. I'm married happily. I'm having a great time with my life. I wish I had more time with my wife. So what is your criticism exactly? It's like, well, you're not fitting my exact interpretation of what your life should be. Well, when I was single and in my 20s, I had a ton of friends. I had tons of friends who I spent time with. We would travel and go to tournaments together. We would hang out outside of that, go drinking, go bowling, hanging out, play pool. We did all that shit because I was single and I had time to do it. I wasn't full-time employed like this. So what is exactly your point?
What is your point? You're the one that sounds like you're confused right now, not them. And furthermore, this is more proof that you don't really understand adult dynamics in terms of a personal relationship and having actual friends, because he believes a friend is how it was in high school. You just hanging out with them all day, every day from sun up to sundown. No, that's not the case, Phil. People who are adults, who are grown, who have things going on, naturally, they're going to have to carve out time for their friends because those people are important to them also. But no, it's not like high school. None of us are 16, 17 years old anymore, riding around burning up all the gas in the car, driving nowhere. Of course not. We still have to carve out time for the things that we want to do, but we do it because our friends are important to us. That's basically what he's getting at. You do not have a normal human existence because the same thing he asks you, if you went to therapy, your therapist would ask you the same thing. Now, would you say that they are all the things that you're calling this guy right now? I bet you wouldn't. I bet you wouldn't, because you would know that that's a well-adjusted person. And then now you would have to scramble to find reasons. Why are they asking me this question? Why are they asking you? This is why it's so important for you to just keep your damn mouth shut. If you don't have a good answer for what somebody is saying, just ignore it. You ignore things all the time, but you chose to pick this out and address it. And all it did was showcase, once again, how out of touch you are with basic human concepts.
I think what it is, you get these people who are younger and immature, and they think that everyone should just live up to their standard of what's happiness or whatever, and it's not. Like, everyone's different. Everyone has a different life. That's okay. It's not your place to be criticizing how other people live, especially if they're happy and they're not hurting anyone. Then let them be themselves. Let them be happy. One person, maybe, never wants to be married whatsoever, but wants to have a lot of friends for their whole life. That's fine. There's no reason for you to criticize that. They can do that if they want. And then you might have someone who's happily married and doesn't have time for friends outside of that because they're busy. That's fine too. Okay, hold on. No. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I got something to say. Ready? I'm going to say this now, and I just got to say it, all right? It's so funny because all these people on the internet, drama, right? I make drama content. I make lolcow content, drama content, okay? I'm sorry to say, are you not aware that drama content, gossip content, this whole kind of content, you do realize that is female-centric or gay-centric content, right? It always has been. 1,000,000%. Who's the one who's always gossiping behind the closed doors about each other? Who's the one who's all dramatic about each other, insulting each other's looks, insulting each other's actions, doing this backstabbing shit? That is girly shit teenage girls do and gay guys do. That's what it is. I'm sorry. So if your entire existence on the internet is dealing with drama, right? Making fun of someone and how they look and how they act and how they sound because they're a joke, ha ha ha. Dude, that is the most immature, girly shit. You are so gay if all you do is sit on the internet insulting people all day. Period.
Okay. Now, I know a lot of y'all already saw that, but I wanted it to play out in its entirety so we can truly unpack this. First and foremost, Phil, I thought you were quote unquote a proud ally. Ain't that what you said? Isn't that on your branding? We talk about you don't care what anybody is or what they do. How can you affiliate a sexual orientation with a specific activity with no real correlation, no real empirical data, just your opinion, which again is the lowest form of human intellect because it's only backed by how you feel. So you don't have anything to really back what you're saying. You're saying that because you want people to feel bad about something that you think is bad. That's all this is. And furthermore, you're talking about people doing things behind closed doors and behind your back. Last time I checked, people are making videos about you and uploading them on a public platform for people to watch. What about that is somebody backdooring you, Phil? It makes absolutely no sense. You're the one in discords and secret chat rooms and all this stuff trying to make things happen behind the scenes. You're the one coddling and holding on to people who have shown to be child predators or who are at least interested in children in ways that are inordinate. You are. So once again, you are here projecting because the people that you're talking about, you have no real visibility on their life and or lifestyle. You don't have a clue, but they do have some insight into yours. See how this works? So when they say stuff or they have an opinion about you, it's actually based on what they're seeing and hearing from you, but yours is purely speculation. What a leap. What a monumental leap to say, if you're laughing at me, you're gay. Are you serious, Phil? I swear, you just cannot make this stuff up, man. Look at his face.
And that goes for all the drama content creators. That goes for all the fucking detractor channels. You're gay. Now, that's okay if you're accepting of that, but you understand that. That's the content you put out. Like,
so when are you going to come out and tell the truth about how you feel about other men? Because you made your bones on the internet primarily running your damn mouth about other men in chat rooms and forums, talking bad about people. This is what you did, right? Also, when you were quote unquote exposed to a broader audience through Kino Casino, according to you, that happened on the back of you talking bad about another man, aka drama, aka gossip. So again, what are you, Phil? And this is why I say you are projecting, because you don't know what other people are doing, but we know what you're doing. But you're sitting up here running your mouth trying to tell us that we want to run up behind another man because we laughing at you. No, Phil, we're laughing at you because the shit that you do is funny, and it's funny in a way that you would not like to be. You're pathetic and nobody takes you seriously. This is why you have to come up with these crazy hot takes and try to go viral in a failed attempt at whale fishing, bro. You are pathetic. You're a damn joke and you always will be.
I remember when I first started on YouTube, all right? There were people who were totally into serious subject matters. I'm passionate about this subject matter and I make videos about it. I make content about it. And then there were the people who were like, oh my God, did you hear what this celebrity did today? Did you hear what this guy did today? Did you hear what this guy, did you see how this guy looked? Look at this picture. Oh my God. And that's the kind of content they put out and they blew up for it. And it became a very prominent thing on YouTube back in the day. But it was always the effeminate, the gay side of it. And again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that at all. I'm not.
That's exactly what you're saying, because the way you framed it as if it was a derogatory term, Phil. The only reason you're doing that is also because you're doing this, and both things are bad, according to Phil, because that's the way he framed it. Because we know that making a video or talking about somebody don't have anything to do with sexual orientation, Phil. People talk about other people all the time. People are naturally drawn to drama. That's what compels us. The storytelling, the theater of it all. You being being a so-called entertainer, you would think you will understand these things, even though you have a very base level of things that you do on a daily basis, which is sad. But for you to come on here on the internet and try to claim somebody's sexual orientation because of an activity that has nothing to do with their sexual orientation, says nothing about them, and says everything about you.
I'm not saying that's bad content or whatever. Hey, there's an audience for it. That became a very prominent audience on YouTube back in the day, for sure, 1,000,000%. But now what's happened is somehow that content has evolved into like, no, it's all mainstream, it's okay, it's normalized, but it's not. It's drama, it's immature, it's meant for like teenage girls and gay guys. It always was. Like,
you need to look up the demographics on YouTube. The overwhelming majority of people on YouTube are men, dude. Straight up. Now, every now and then, so if these dudes are making this content, where are all these teenage girls that are out there consuming this content, Phil? What you're saying makes absolutely no sense, because we know you don't really care about trying to cultivate an audience. All you care about is drawing money from that audience. So you never really took the time to figure out what they actually like and what they don't like, right? So once again, this is you projecting.
that was supposed to be seen as like this kind of immature level of stuff that you grow out of. Somehow now it's been built. No, now there's big business behind this drama content, this making fun of people, this tearing people down. If all you do all day is act like that, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. The T channels, all this shit. That is a very culture-centric kind of content. And the fact that people sit on there, oh no, what are you talking about? I'm a big manly man who's all confident in himself, but I still make this content that makes fun of others. No, you're not. You're not confident in yourself. If you were, you wouldn't make fun of others. You'd be confident enough in your own content that you don't have to bring others down. The only people who have to do that are people who are not confident in themselves and or have this feeling of like immaturity, drama. Again, teenage girl shit.
So what about Cat Williams and Dave Chappelle and Bruce and Eddie Murphy and Jerry Seinfeld and Jim Carrey and all these great comedians who have made their bones talking shit about other people? Are they gay too, Phil? See, this is what happens when you have a very binary thought process and you have a hard time recognizing nuance, which is really what this is. Phil's the type of person that believes all rap is just rap. He doesn't understand that there's a difference between hip hop, gangster rap. You got cats who make dance music, right? And it's the same in rock. You got pop. You know, you got some of the stuff that's a little darker. You got the grunge. You got the heavy metal stuff, right? But to Phil, like I said, it's a binary thought process. So it's just this or that, this or that. And this is why human interactions are so important, Phil, because what it does is it fleshes out your thought process so you can have a better idea of what's going on around you. I mentioned this before. The brain was designed to work associatively, right? So when you come around things that you don't understand or you can't grasp, your brain is going to grab things that are similar to what you're experiencing in real time so you can have an opportunity to grasp it, right? It's really a built-in, not really a warning system, but it's designed to protect you. It's the reason why when a dog barks in a neighborhood somewhere, even though you did not see the dog, you can tell by the pitch of the bark, how far away it is, roughly how big the dog is, etc. But Phil doesn't understand that because these are muscles that need to be worked, and they're only worked when you're around other people, Phil. My goodness. This dude is crazy, man. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Urban style content. I'm dead.